Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... Yeah, I haven't done that for a while, have I? But there you go. What I have done recently, of course, is go over the list of the you know who experience, by which I mean a couple of weeks ago, gacha tuber by the name of You Know Who posted a video talking about the most underrated gacha series, kind of synopsizing them a little bit and going over just like a very brief, and I do mean very brief, it was like 5 minutes of 4 videos, description of what's going on, so you would check it out for yourselves. And it worked, because while I had already seen 2 of those, I hadn't seen the third one on that list and really have enjoyed it thus far. And this one, I get the feeling, this is the 4th one, by the way, I get the feeling I'm going to enjoy it even more. Not least because it has mermaids in it, from what I've seen in the You Know Who video, but also just in general, I'm not usually the horror is not my preferred genre, so apocalypse was always, you know, was always going to be something that, yeah, I can like obviously enjoy anyway, but yeah, this one is going to be more up my alley, I reckon. So we'll see if that's correct or not. Contrary to what the title suggests about, you know, them featuring mermaids, it's called Burn Brighter. And yeah, don't really know much about it specifically. So aside from what's been detailed in the You Know Who video, which is that apparently someone has a hidden power that that they're trying to manifest in a particular way. So one of those types of stories, essentially. And also a little bit of an extra thing where you know, not all the visuals are strictly speaking gacha. And that's all I'll say about that for now. Let's go ahead and figure out what the rest of it's about. So without further ado, on with the review. That was a double rhyme, I didn't mean to do that. So immediate first thing that I enjoy is, you know, the actual the ambient sound effects of the crickets, but also the synced up sound effects of the footsteps on the correct surface, aka, you know, like outside grass or like, you know, twigs and leaves. So already we're off to a great start. When it comes to seeing the characters, you know, like you know, bottom like half shot, usually that's been used in gacha to save on lip animation, but here I reckon it's because, you know, we're going to get like the effect of seeing the character for the first time. So, you know, I'm not judging that one too soon, but if it happens repeatedly, might have to reconsider. So now we've got, you know, a mid shot, so we're getting closer. Gotta love that voice actor Foley of and we got the 4th shot, so yeah, we're fine. Okay, so yeah, again, this is what I was saying before about there being like actual you know, like hand-drawn art in this to support some visuals, I guess, in lieu of front facing. That being said, it was only on screen for a few seconds, which, you know, you got to respect on one hand, because of course it means they're not tempted to keep it on for way too long, but also, you know, it depends. It could be a sign of the pacing of the video, but again, we're not judging too soon. Let's go ahead and see. What I am going to judge on, by the way, is the is potentially the voice acting of like doing Foley is very difficult, but when it comes to this particular thing, I guess like I think more of a gasp would have worked here, like or something, just a little bit more like, you know, a bit more of like an inward rather than an outward, I think, at least. What have I walked in on? Climate change. Perfect answer. Yes. Okay, now the exhale makes sense. And hey, we have something, we have the, I don't know if I've seen like this exact one before, because I know that there are certain people, I think Beowulf even did this like one point where he like took some like, you know, existing gacha packs and modified them so you get like actual things outside of the window. Which I always thought this background was, you know, up on like a up on like a 2nd floor or something. That's where a lot of bedrooms tend to be. So the fact there's a road outside always threw me off. But hey, you know, we've got something in here, and we've got a source of light permeating through as well. The question is whether or not we're going to see the character be lit the same way or not, because the foot is just off of the light source there. Let's go ahead and see. Hmm. There's a thing for me. The bun seems too big for her head. Well, I mean, it depends. This could be a character with, like, a ton of hair and just, did not want to, tie the bun, like, super compressed, in order to sleep. Then again, tying up your hair to sleep, not everyone is, keen on doing that because it actually can damage your hair. That's why, like, often, like, a bonnet is used instead. What I'm also gonna point out, the fact is that there's a hair clip, and it seems like the character just slept with a hair clip that could easily, like, either like, snap or, like, jab into her or something. So I'm guessing that this character, like, wears her hair up like this, during the daytime, not just, to sleep, and the creator didn't actually, let it loose in order to, in, in order to support the nightwear, because also it seems like she seemed to be, like, in, like, a hoodie or something, which is not exact, and also is, like, just wearing all kinds of jewelry, so yeah, definitely not appropriate nightwear here, basically. Not like Orchid, eh, Ghosty? Could never tie my hair up for sleep, then again, it's too short to do so anyway. I couldn't wear this accessory. Yeah, exactly, that's what I was saying.
What was that?
It was a nightmare. A a metal festival.
You and me hanging.
Haven't seen a character with vitiligo in a while. Oh, we're gonna get a montage for the intro. All right. I'm I don't know if this song is copyrighted or not. I'm going to have in good faith that it isn't. If this video gets muted after this point, you'll know why.
From the willow tree, quietly drifting in the open breeze. Suddenly, the wind blows you away from me. Now
I thought we were getting like a continuous story in terms of, like this the one such character. Maybe we are, because it seems to be like with one character with the red streak, like growing up. But also there seem to be like two of them after there were, unless the one was a replica of the other.
I see.
Let me just go back again and rewind that, because I probably need to see that again. Let me just yeah, here we go.
You and me hanging from the willow tree.
I'm also noticing that one of them has like the same cross as the protagonist we had before, so I'm guessing that that's like, a family heirloom. Doesn't mean you should wear it to bed because it's a choking hazard, but still.
Quietly drifting in the open breeze.
Oh, okay. So it seems like there was like a rescue that happened from some, like a underworld place, and that's why. Or not. Maybe it was there's just the mission in there that seemed to, like affect them. I'm not entirely sure about that one, because like the one with all the fire was definitely hard to make out. Anyway, there's a baby now. Not a replica, just the same style of hair, or possibly a sign of like a magical marking or something. And also very dry lips. What is going on with those lips on both of you? That's you might want to get that looked at. So yeah, we're growing up now. We were never meant to be there. That lyric implies that something happened to the parents.
If only we could travel back in time. Whoa, right where we belong. Maybe we'll
Maybe just me, but the whole like back in time thing makes me think that they should have like rewound the footage there a bit to like be retracing steps.
never need a reason why. Whoa, dancing till the dawn. If only we could travel back in time.
Okay, so we're speeding up with the music. Fair enough. I said this before, but when it comes that like you can tell this is gonna be like a huge like like beat drop. By the way, we already saw an Eyeless Freak. We already saw like her like a second there with like the "We were never meant to be" like that part that was already there. Um, yeah, Chapped happens to the best of us. Yeah. All right. Yeah, where was I? Oh yeah. Like I've said, it's always a risk for me when it comes to like all of these different songs that people choose, like Rosie Closey, for example, where there's like a very obvious beat drop that's about to happen. Usually, that's where Rosie Closey like put the montage part, but this time, like everything is the montage. There's no contrast to this we're going to see. But actually, I like the fact that we are in fact building up to it. Like we're built as the beats increasing in the background, so is the speed of the character running. So yeah, fair enough. Otherwise, it'd be a bit of a dull visual to see over and over again. And falling at greater speed. Yeah, and then again we have the animation on for only a few seconds. I would have possibly like had that maybe like loop a little bit as you're like and then like the drop is when we get this rather than like dancing and that being the build up. And then of course there's this type of editing which I just every time. Why do people find this style appealing? Was like boom, 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 boom. I mean, because it's not as bad here, but a lot of the time it barely gives you time to actually focus on what's even going on in the first place. Like, see, you want to admire this kind of thing, but you have to pause constantly, like the way that I'm doing. And if as was indicated a couple of reviews ago, not everyone's a fan of pausing. So, yeah. Yeah, see, if I don't pause there, like you saw all that stuff, but didn't have time to internalize it. That being said, now we've gone from like the montage of the past to seemingly an intro, like based on like things to come. So I was wrong, actually. There was in fact a contrast. There we go. Enjoy it. I can relate to the masochism. I relate to the Schadenfreude. I've said before. I've said before, I am a mental sadist, not a masochist. There's a difference. In fact, some people will call them opposites. And that's the only slow visual in there. Oh, all right. I almost expect like an anime sound effect for that. So the character is actually like releasing a bit of like the tied up hair rather than okay, fair enough.
Blaze, where are you? School starts in 10.
Why does that character sound like the TikTok voice girl? But also okay, so the main character in Burn Brighter's name is Blaze, possibly. Or at least this character is.
Bye, Mom. I love you.
So the hair streak is different on both of them now, unless these are different characters, because they do look very different, and there's no cross, so.
Almost there. At least I'm not going to be late.
Come on, enter the Speed Force. Do it. You know you want to.
What is that?
Oh, she didn't crash through any of the walls with the school like fully open. I was again we have the sound effects, we have like the synced up footsteps as well, but we don't have like any wall crashing or like any like vrooshes or anything like that. That would be like the extra step from here. Like that, for example, that's the first crash, and it happened at, I don't know, like Mach 3. So that character's dead. I just kept running. Yeah, exactly.
Crystal, I'm so sorry. I don't even know what happened. You okay?
Oh, look at that. What a coincidence. The person you happened to bump into along your vast journey before like your reaction time could kick in, just happened to be the person you were talking to on the phone. Of course. Also, is that a tree growing out of the lockers in you know what? This is clearly a magical world, so I'm gonna say someone's growing trees in their locker. Why not? World building.
Right, but why were you running so fast?
I don't know. I was running late and then it's blank from there.
I mean, having the character ask why you were running so fast, specifically after that same character said that where are you? You're running late. Yeah. What a shock as to why that was happening. The better question would be how the character is was running that fast. rather than why. You know the motivation behind it. What you don't know is the mechanic. Anyway, backwards hand, yeah, call KW. I get the feeling we're gonna go see a few of those.
Well, I'm sure it's nothing. We'll figure it out later, I promise.
I'm noticing as well, I know if it's just my video, because sometimes this does happen on Gacha Review, where the video is slightly out of sync. So, but I'm fairly certain that she actually stopped talking after her mouth had already closed. Like, we'll work it out. Our furnace, you know.
Blaze, I think I found the solution to your problem. Check it out. It's one of the books in the archive.
I mean, the problem, I wouldn't, would I call it a problem necessarily? I mean, it was an event that happened, but you shouldn't actually cause any damage to anyone aside from, I guess, Crystal's internal organs, most likely. But yeah, it's a problem if you can't control it and it's like a reoccurring thing that keeps happening, but this is like a one-off event seemingly.
Crystal, do you really think this book is going to help us? I mean, it's just an ordinary library book.
Okay, you started spontaneously combusting at the legs and running at breakneck speeds, almost literally. I don't know how Crystal's still alive, and you're just and your friend offers you a solution, and your first thing to say is, "Are you sure that that book that you have looked in and I haven't is going to help me with this situation?" Why would it be that me, as a student attending whichever school this is, would find a solution within the library of said school to what's going on with me? No, of course not. Why would the book help? Obviously. By the way, you know who said that none of these characters were unlikable again? I'm not so sure about Blaze at the moment.
Yes, it could maybe give us clues. Just trust me on this. I'm sure it can help with whatever you're dealing with. Meet up.
Yeah, see, look at that face. Look at the face of, of those just pure disdain of, like, why am I trusting her?
My house in a bit, okay?
It's just an ordinary library book. Yeah. Well, by the way, I say again, not in the French version. She doesn't say that in the French version. That was a dubism. But still, funny and nonetheless.
I hope Crystal can actually help me with this. This is seriously starting to bother me.
You say this is seriously starting to bother you. How long has this been occurring? Like, you react as if it was the first time this had happened to you. And you haven't like attempted to either recreate it or, figured out that the same situation would happen twice. But yet it seems like this is like a constant thing that's like been going on for ages. Like, oh no, I entered the Speed Force again. If that had been what happened, then I wouldn't be saying this right now. But the reaction alone suggested that's not what's going on here. The lack of music is making me really disconnected. That is also true. Like I appreciate the fact that we've had like sound effects and such. And we've had ambient sound effects along with footsteps and Foley, which suggests to me that we have at least a person with access to 2 audio tracks, if not, if not several more. I'm hoping for several more personally, but I do appreciate, though, that she is, despite it being on the road right now and beforehand, also like walking very slowly. So she's being cautious about it, like hoping it doesn't happen again. But again, the language of her thoughts in there, thinking like, oh yeah, this has been an ongoing issue. It hasn't, unless it was a one-off, it seems. But she's reacting accordingly.
Crystal, it's me, Blaze! Ugh.
Yeah, quickly, get inside the house that is suspended in the air from the open road access that it had before. What is this, VR chat? Why? What is the consistency here with that? I mean, I wouldn't be pointing it out if it weren't for the fact that these are custom backgrounds that a person has specifically chosen. So, I mean, I get it. Sometimes you pick the wrong background, and like it's happened with me in Mutant Girl, where I didn't realize that the background I chose for a person who was supposedly lived in a block of flats like further up, had access to like the open like outside back garden that was clearly on a ground floor level. So again, sometimes I manipulate the sky for actual in-universe reasons, as well as just for the sake of enhancing the experience. I'm not sure if that's something that this person can do, because again, I think I saw that exact background with like with the lighting in the car for the bedroom. I think I saw that edit somewhere else. So I think all these backgrounds are sourced from other places. I could be wrong there. But still, if they are sourced from other places, the issue with that is that you can then choose, based on what's in the background of those backgrounds, whether or not they're suitable or not. That's my point. Sometimes I manipulate. It's true. I do, yeah.
Crystal, what the heck?
Check it out.
What's decapitated?
Okay, I'm gonna read this because I wait, hold on.
Bodies keep washing up on coast. Stay out the water. Official thinks it's sirens that are responsible.
Ah, beware of the sirens, indeed. Okay, so apart from like the fact that she read that like really fast to begin with, like the first is like says decapitated heads instead of satyrs decapitated heads. I know that I talk really quickly, especially when I'm speaking to myself, but if I'm voice acting, I try not to do that for reasons of being understood in the actual video.
For this?
It's just my Madrid upbringing coming back again. As Monet did say, the Nostalgia Critic raised me, but before Nostalgia Critic, there was the Spanish. So, I am a very complicated, mixed baggage of stuff and influences. All right. Void dress. Void dress. And void backpack, I think. Right? Is that a void backpack? Yes, but it's a void backpack that is accompanied by seemingly a light blue chroma key outline. Yeah. Clearly, I'm on fire with quotes today, apparently.
It's not surprising. This siren case has been going on for a while.
So if it's been going on for a while, how is it not caught up in conversation as like a fun fact or something? Unless sirens are just a commonplace thing in this world. Again, they could be, or B, like talked about with a lesser sense of urgency, or does he just yank Blaze into a house which wouldn't get run over by virtue of a house being on the open road? Maybe that was the reason behind it. I don't know.
I have a problem with these designs.
Okay.
It seems like the creator was on a conquest to fill every accessory slot. That they didn't happen to stop and think, wait, does this actually look good?
We haven't seen this problem in Gacha in a while. It used to be a huge thing with Gacha Life. Oh, Ghosty is muted now. Okay.
If you look at them, they have a set of ears on top of their hair, and they have earrings, even though that girl already has earrings on her ears that are on top of her hair.
Maybe the idea was to be able to add multiple piercings, because I don't think you can do currently, unless you want to move the face assets, which you can do.
Yeah, but there's still the fact that her ear is on top of her hair.
There's also the fact that the piercings are the same color as her actual skin, which makes them feel like they're just appendages. But yeah, there's also both of those things.
Not to mention, she has one of those low noses, which seems to be tilted 90 degrees, and freckles. I get it that it's the illusion to give the face dimension, but I can hardly tell where her freckles end and her nose begins.
Mm.
Not to mention, her mouth is, right now, super low on her face. But I will say, the eyes do look nice, and I appreciate they using more than one eye type here, which seems to be a prevalent problem with gacha creators. But I will point out that their hair highlights are different colors. Just front and back.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention, she's wearing what looks like the main character girl seems to be wearing one of those, a yellow belt with a brighter yellow bow, or is that supposed to be orange?
It is orange, yeah.
Oh, that looks awful. If I'm approximating what this looks like to you, then oh god, it's terrible.
Mm. Potentially.
She's wait, I'm just now noticing this. She's wearing a jacket that has no sleeves.
Yeah, but I think oh sorry, are you going to go
The
on the
main
left or the
character
right?
girl.
Okay, so so Blaze, yeah, it seems like she's like ripped off the sleeves and like made them like go further down or something.
Oh, so she's sporting the Hatsune Miku fit.
I was gonna go with 2015 Cinderella, but yes, fair enough. That also works.
Good.
Oh,
Hmm.
how was this supposed to help me with my problem?
Well,
Yeah, you know, the current events and news that doesn't affect me directly, you know. Why why would I care about it? Again, you know who said no unlikable characters in this video.
Ah, yes, Draco Malfoy. Draco Malfoy called. He wants his bit back.
he's moving in the ocean.
Crystal, wait!
There we go, magic
Crystal,
world.
warn me before you.
Okay, hold on a second. So you're telling me that, you know, this girl like called her best friend to say at the beginning of this video saying, "Hey, you're running late to school," and didn't offer to teleport her there instead?
Also, I'd like to say that her the best friend's top has become transparent, and you can see the coastline.
Yeah, that's definitely maybe like a new chroma key was attempted here that was not present before, because I think also the light blue around Blaze seems to have disappeared as well. So there's a new chroma key and potentially a bit of an oversight. We have the void and we have transparency from Crystal. She's not doing too well today, is she?
No, she's not.
Hmm.
Though I did like that
But hey.
effect with the tail.
Yeah, like there are like a couple of like bursts of hand drawn somewhere where just like hand drawn for a couple
Oh
seconds.
no, that
Accurate.
tail wasn't hand drawn. It was a manipulated asset.
Oh, okay.
Crystal, wait. We don't even know what that was. And how would we go down there without drowning?
That's where I come in.
You mean that's where I come in? Okay, look, I joked about this before, like, you know, that she was like the TikTok voice girl. Is this actually just an AI that didn't like? Because I mean, yeah, I've had VAs like make that error before, but yeah, oh wait, no, sorry, no, it's not an AI. It's Jasmine B apparently. So yeah, I've had there are VAs that like make the mistake of like saying like that's where I come in, or like not reading like the full context. It feels like Jasmine B did not read the full context of the script to know where where the
it
emphasis
feels
was meant
like-
to go, or alternatively, there was no italicization on the I, and then no direction to go back and correct.
I'm
what happened.
assuming an accurate reading of that line would be something more like, "That is where I come in."
Or at the very least, that's where I come in, or something like that. You know, that's where I come in. Whatever it may be to put the emphasis on the I part, which is what's going on here.
Her lower, like Jasmine's lower arm is dislocating.
Yeah. Okay. I see what they're trying to do in this situation right now. I see what's trying to happen here.
Like I do like that the hair was influenced by the magic, but as for the main character's hair has just stayed stagnant, meaning that she's not beholden to the same physics.
Yeah, so well, I mean, I guess apart from the fact that like gacha clothes were more difficult to you know, make flow the same way, it's just the fact that like it seems like the wind sort of like the source of the uplift is like much more powerful further back there's at the front, because like for a while the strands of hair at the front were just down and they're just like slowly flowing upwards. Imagine the Yugi's transformation to the Pharaoh being like this, like Yugi, never mind, what's going on? Good thing his hair's spiky. You never
Crystal,
noticed.
What are you doing? Wow, Crystal, did you make these yourself?
Black.
They're
Mm-hmm.
Like,
super
but I do like it.
Void.
They're supplementing void with blue shading to make it look less horrible. But that still doesn't change the fact that it's outlined black.
This is literally you can't polish a turd.
should protect us from anything that goes on while
You
we're
can't
down
put
there.
lipstick on a pig.
Oh, just like that. I just noticed the crystal like winked there for a moment.
Wait, so let's get down there then.
Nice small detail before I realized like how stretched her mouth actually is. That looks painful.
It does. But I also appreciate that they're using eyebrows to convey expression, which is for some reason not something I see often in these gacha projects.
Yeah, that is
Probably-
true. I mean, you know, because at the very least, like they really like elevate a lot. Basically, when you get them down, because you know you have the mouth and you have like maybe nowadays with Gacha Life 2, you have the eyes like sizes if it's like Crevasse Shock or something. But yeah, most of the time it really is the eyebrows that do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Best if we make
Also,
this quick. We
her
have a
shirt
time
has
limit to how
changed
much-
color from black to blue.
Yeah, maybe upon entering contact with water. Wait, no, there's like a force field around them making them breathe. That shouldn't have happened. Yeah, I maybe it was the chroma key or something. The chroma key was actually just, you know, took out the shades of blue because it was a dark green that included the blue. I don't know anymore.
These shelves hold
I
up
don't
for.
know. Pain? Sure.
Dishwasher, yes.
So, where do you think
Oh
it
no,
went?
both of the outfits have changed color due to interacting with water.
Yeah, so here's my question. So they're supposed to be like in a force field or something that's allowing them to breathe, right? Is the force field allowing water to like permeate through them, but there's like purify it so that they can like breathe it in somehow, or is it meant to be like an air bubble where that you know where like it doesn't actually pass, but but obviously like you know their like gravity doing its thing means they can still swim. Because if it's the latter, then their hair should not be flowing that way.
Me, this
I
ocean
would like
is
to point
huge.
out that the main character's girl, it's like her hair was in a ponytail before. It was being
But yeah,
held. Her hair was in a ponytail and it was being held by a bow before, but now her hair being up in a ponytail is completely gone. But
yeah. So she's
I do like the illusion of flowing hair, but I'm confused.
so am I, particularly because if they are in like this like force field, the water physics should not have like had like the hair tie come undone, surely, because it wouldn't have been affected by it. So this
Right.
might be a case of, you know, these visuals being done just to show off the effects, which was not necessary because you would have Crystal, who didn't have her hair tied up like that, to, you know, support that.
I would also like to point out that where are these bubbles coming from?
I don't know. They're coming
Like-
from those they're coming from those blocks from Minecraft that, you know, just like have
Like-
them at the bottom of the ocean.
Bubbles don't just spontaneously happen in the water. Fun fact, usually bubbles are a result of activity in the water. But they're not swimming, they're using magic to just float around.
I mean, the bubbles don't seem to be coming from them. They seem to be coming from something that's underneath them. So there might be some activity underneath them right now that they're just blatantly ignoring.
Clams. Probably.
Yes. Or possibly the Winx Club in Sirenix form, as Mona's pointed out here. Second Winx Club reference in a row, actually, from Gacha Review. But yeah, or someone drowning. That's also a possibility.
Huge. It could have went anywhere. Whoa.
Just how much more psychotic can you
Not just mermaids, angry
actually
mermaids.
be?
Or sirens, they did
Killing
say.
sailors? Seriously?
Works for me.
Oh,
I hope
like, here. I'm going to point this out. But, like, mostly because I'm, you know, deep in the trenches when it comes to writing mythology. Jacob knows why. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want Bond to have the satisfaction of bingo.
Okay. Although
but
you did point out the bingo before Bonded, which is alone part of the bingo.
Yes. Sirens in Greek mythology are not mermaids, but edgy. Sirens in Greek mythology are more like bird women creatures.
Yes, they were later converted into like a mixed in with Legends of Mermaids that we got later on, and now they are the same word in Spanish.
Oh, I hate
yeah.
it. Because
I
mermaids
did. I
and
did in
sirens
fact.
are,
Yeah.
because mermaids and sirens are two different creatures with two different bases and two different mythologies. You can't just mix them like this.
Yeah, I tried to. I tried to cover that in the opening song of Siren Story to show that they were like two different things. But I guess with didn't work in the stage version because without the accompanying visuals, it's just somebody kind of like verbally
Like,
expositing about stuff that we can't actually visibly represent. But there you go. But in the
I-
gacha version, it made more sense.
I changed sirens in the things I'm writing because I wanted to, make them not mermaids. Because, fun fact, mermaids, or mermaids as we think of them, mostly derives from the Celtic mythology of the Selkie and is, a British play on the same concept.
Okay.
But as for sirens, they're more of a Greek and Roman sort of.
Yeah, for me the difference between mermaids and sirens, like in the modern version, with that, like in the evolved version, I'm going to call it, is that one is responsible for like luring sailors in with the magical powers of singing voices and such, versus mermaids that just kind of vibe. That's how I differentiate the two, without the context of the separate origins and actual makeups of them.
And
And
I
that's what I'm
also
gonna go with here for now, because
and I also hate the fact that these how do you get tattoos under the ocean?
I mean, I guess it
Like,
depends. Maybe the bubbles earlier for some reason, like a branding iron or something. I don't know.
Like, to point out what you said in an earlier Gacha review, you can't just give a tattoo under the ocean. It would cause them to bleed. Ask Aquaman? No, I won't be asking Aquaman anything. He owes me money. Anyway,
Asking for the
as-
money. There you go.
As Jacob said in an earlier Gacha review, you can't do tattoos under the ocean. It would draw sharks.
Mm. Well, who knows? Maybe they also eat sharks when they can't eat sailors. It's implied here that they have a different food source, and that I guess attacking sailors is a bit of a bad stereotype they're trying to move away from as a society. That's the impression I'm getting right now. So maybe they do eat sharks after all. They just bait them in like that.
You're really pathetic. You know that?
Everyone who's not you is.
There's an issue with the audio balancing.
There's also an issue with a wrist being dislocated. It was like pushed this direction.
Did her hair
That's a
just
Gacha like
change
too.
color from brown to black? Excuse me?
Ah, so that's why we had to have the flowing hair, so they were both doubly visible. It was for plot reasons. Well, I dare say that's probably a retcon, considering that that's, the tied hair seemed to be something for the character. I might not do the song,
Seriously?
but you have an idea.
Hey.
That was the visual that I saw in the You Know Who video.
Who are you two?
I'm very unimpressed by that green screen explosion.
It did seem like like that app that's that has you can like blow stuff up on your phone, like that one.
Also, Bon
Right,
wants us
fine,
to
I'll do
do
the
the
song.
song.
All right, red cons, they're bad for me and you. Red cons, next time think your story through. There you go.
You let outsiders follow you into the ocean.
Why is their hair flowing in different directions? Like
They
just
sh-
that
Well,
effect had to
listen,
be like added in
they should-
artificially. So like,
Their hair should be flowing in the same direction as the current, unless you're implying that the current is going between them, and that's why their hair is going that way. In that case,
Maybe
did a
it's the-
dolphin swim
it's
through
the
recently?
aftershock of the aftershock of the explosion around them. It's just still like pushing backwards. It's going.
That's impossible due to the laws of physics underwater. I hate it. 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 I hate this
You know what?
already.
I think we know where the bubbles came from. It's just that one mermaid, like just blowing things up underwater out of boredom. There you go.
I have questions. I also have questions.
Just how
mhm.
much do you hate us?
I don't hate any.
No, I'll make sure that none of you three leave this ocean alive. Starting
Wow,
with
that's-
them.
Okay. Again,
like the
I
motion.
appreciate the hand-drawn animation there. Fantastic. However, I would have asked for a retake because that line does not convey the same thing as the face does. The face suggests that, someone's like really mad, like, starting with you! Like, obviously, I can't project right now because it's late, but you know the idea.
Like,
Rather
the
than,
hand-
I am really angry and my face conveys that. That kind of thing.
Also, I will say that the siren had absolutely no reason to jump to violence as soon as two random girls were spotted.
You brought two random girls here? I can explain. I've never seen them before. I don't want to hear it. I'm going to attack you anyway. Because I guess I just do that.
Holy lack of protection. That escalated quickly. Vaughn just sent me an image.
Oh, great.
Blinding shield.
Wait, do you get the sharks as well? You got sharks, didn't you?
What?
Almost no more images. Yeah, that's why I said, oh, great.
Fish.
Shield.
Yeah. Yeah, the close-up. Extreme close-up! Whoa! Why did I freeze frame that? Because Ghosty got shocked.
Blaze.
By the way, could I just point out, Crystal so far has been shown to have powers of summoning force fields, teleportation, and the outfit changes, and now this shield that she's also able to conjure, basically.
Like,
So
we
just
can...
4 separate powers, and yet for some reason, entering the Speed Force is presented as a problem rather than, just a thing that different people can do. Clearly, this world people have powers. Why is one a problem and not the other?
You have to leave. I can't hold this shield in this
Inconsistent magic lore.
Yeah, we haven't established that super speed, out of every other possible power, is one that is, undesirable in this world, or could be, an issue of some kind, or out of control. If anything, again, going back to the book situation from earlier, if students in a school happened to, happen to have powers, or these have the possibility of having powers, and if they all have them, but clearly some of them do, then why would a library book not be the ideal place to to look more into that? It's like they have science texts at a school, for I'm sure that if a student came in asking questions about a particular thing happening to them just in the real world, for example, I don't know, a puberty issue, for example, technically speaking, there could theoretically be a book about that somewhere in the library, or someone to talk to about it, alternatively speaking. Clearly, in this situation, it was the former. A library book is detailing what might happen to, happen to somebody,
Also, Bon says, I've seen...
Growing hair in new places, spontaneously combusting, it's perfectly natural for a girl your age. Something like that. Sorry, continue.
Also, Bon is I've seen magic hieroglyphics in every gacha ever, and I can explain the reason behind that. And it has to do with editing with pre-made assets. Sometimes when you buy a license, the license comes with a number of defined assets. And these magic circles, in the case of Firma, Wonder Share, and a Light Motion, happen to be the same.
Yeah, that tracks.
What? No
mostly
way.
the
I'm
same.
not leaving here without you.
You sound really torn up about this. You're like, no way, I'm not leaving here without you! Rather than come on, seriously? Of course I'm
Yeah,
leaving without you. idiots.
Like, what seems to be a problem with this was inconsistent design, the voice actors, failing to project, or at least there was little voice direction. As we've seen,
Yeah.
this is a prevailing issue. And YouTube green screen effects. Like, a lot
I
of
can't
the...
complain about those because I've used them. Because
Like-
my editing software does not have licensed media like that, so I have to get creative.
Like, as we've seen with this project, is that a lot of passion has clearly gone into the animation, but not much of that passion has gone into anything else so far.
Yeah, whenever I see a list of like underrated gacha series, or like the Gacha Guild Awards, for example, and what they're presenting, there's always like the alarm back in my head that says, if they're talking almost exclusively about the visuals here, that that's a sign that the story is probably atrocious. Not always, but it's happened quite a lot. In fact, actually, in Apocalypse, it didn't happen yesterday. But that's something also that who pointed out was that the story was actually really well crafted in that one. In this one, not so much of a word on that one, but a little bit about like commenting the characters themselves, but not much. So again, focusing entirely on the visuals rather than the thing that's meant to glue everyone together and actually get them invested. I'm not leaving here without you.
I will say one thing off the jump.
Yeah?
I don't know. Something about the inconsistency during the editing doesn't strike me as laziness, more so a lack of, a little lack of common sense decency during actual editing. The lack of an attention to detail can hurt something as much as too much attention to detail can kill a project.
So yeah, that was the upload tape, by the way.
Oh, it's newer. Oh, that hurts my soul. Honey, so much better assets exist if you look. Honey, you can do so much better, honey. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Whenever it comes to like new versus old gacha videos, there's a lot of the time, depending on what was on last actually, if it's a case of someone
like if it's old,
depends on like where that like where they on from like when they started rather than like when the community started. And it does seem like this channel has been uploading for never mind 6 years. Forget I said anything.
Oh no, then they definitely have enough editing skill to be able to green screen effectively. Oh no, that hurts my soul. My soul.
Yeah. Also,
Only
yeah,
way
you
we're
should have
gonna
been
get
here
out
for
of
the
here
Apocalypse
alive
video.
The Apocalypse video? Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that one. I was handling a cease and desist. Oh, that hand. Oh, that hand. Like,
from my understanding, drawing hands is a very hard skill to acquire in art, so,
like, it is a hard skill to acquire, but it's less hard when you look up adequate references. Like, there should not be that much distance between the fingers.
I'm guessing this is why so many different like hands on animated characters have 4 fingers. Well, one of the reasons. There are several. I know there are several. Anyway. Oop. Okay. This one I haven't seen before, especially not the wave pulse.
I do love how it looks.
Also, I like the implication there from like Blaze being like, "Oh no, there's no way we can get out this unless that's it. My best plan ever. Have the friend of the enemy turn on them without me signaling them at all." Great, that worked out. Normally, if a character says, there's no way out of this unless, normally they do something or they give an instruction. It's not somebody else acting of their own accord at the same time.
To leave now.
But meanwhile,
Come on,
Bot actually
we don't
makes an
have much
excellent
time left.
point in chat.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no, this definitely looks like Wings Club
Oh,
now.
what happened with the eyes? Ugh. It's a gotcha
They
like
got
too,
hit with
bro.
water, I guess. I don't know. Nope. Oh no, my force field. Let me turn around without my hair, like, still being in the way.
Blade!
Yes, exactly. You know, whenever a force field disappears, the person instantly drowns. Classic mechanic.
Also, I would like to point out
This hand's
that
better, by the way.
yeah, this hand is
The thumb
much
is very
better.
stretched out, but the hand is better overall.
The hand is better overall. Also, I can apologize to Smear Frame because we were clearly not supposed to be pausing on this hand. I will also point out that convenient force field timeout
Oh yeah, no, we did.
at the pivotal plot moment. I love that. I love inconsistent magic rules.
Yeah, why did one force field time out and not the other? Or was she like too far away? Was she just swimming a little bit too slow to be kept up? Like I don't know. We needed that so the mermaid could rescue them, of course, or the siren could rescue them, versus the previous scene where the siren rescued them. Yeah, anyway. That felt like it was out of sync.
What were you
Yeah,
guys
that
doing
was
following me into the
terribly out
ocean?
of sync.
You could have been killed.
Hmm.
Well, I'm sorry I wanted to find out why sailors were washing up on the beach headless. Guess we got our answer.
Wait, you think I'm the one killing all the sailors?
You literally confronted a person for attacking sailors that you just
Also-
escaped from. The very same person that attacked you. So no, they're not accusing you. It's already known information that it's sirens who are responsible. Not necessarily all of them, but definitely at least one, aka the one they just saw. So no, they don't think it was you.
I'd also hate to point this out, but her ear is on top of her hair again.
Yeah, like sometimes that doesn't matter, but it depends. Like for the ear of top of the hair thing to work, but the best thing is like to have like an actual like hair that's like a rear hair that's actually tucks behind like naturally, because otherwise it
Also-
just seems like the hair is just like jabbing into them. That's the difference.
They're using Gacha Life 2 for this, right? There's an easy way to fix the ear being where the ears being where they are, which is to instead of putting it on accessory 1, put it on accessory 3 so it's behind the hair that it's supposed to not be in front of.
Yeah, the problem if you do that is that, you know, it will be mostly obscured, and I get the impression that this creator really wanted, again, like you said before, with all the accessories, they definitely really wanted to show off everything they possibly could, including everyone's nose being crooked and punched in.
Oh, speaking of accessories, she has accessories that she had on her outfit that she has accessories on her person that she didn't have while under the ocean. Like,
It does seem like, you know, everyone when they teleport or when like they like you knew out that or when they use magic of some kind or when they like leave or enter the ocean, they have different things happen. Their outfits change color, you know, their accessories end up being different, their eyebrows get very brown and thick, you know. These things happen, you know. Now you can't see it, can you?
Brainless Kaito 2.0. The ear on top of the hair might be an intentional artistic choice. I mean, it's gacha logic. Yes, it might be intentional, but that doesn't mean I have to like it.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that you know, to support that artistic choice, have a rear hair that actually tucks underneath it, so it's more disguised if you do that. The problem is that it was not a well executed artistic choice, not that it was an artistic choice in general. And also, we don't care about gacha logic here. That's, you know,
That's
otherwise
kind
we
of
wouldn't be doing this
that's
review
kind
series
of
at
the
all.
point of gacha review. Like, we're reviewing the
Yeah.
art as it is.
Mhm.
You know,
No!
you know, something
have-
death of the artist, death of the author.
Well, and also because, dismissing things as gacha logic means we're not taking it seriously. That's the main
The
reason.
wrong person. It's my psychotic stepsister.
Sure.
Whatever. I'm out.
Yet no one accused you. What do you mean, sure? No one said anything! Yes, you thought it was me. Of course, because it could be no one else in the entire vastness of the body of water that covers 2/3 of the planet. No, of course not. Just me.
Out of here. Stay out of the ocean and
I'm well known to be one of only 2 sirens that exist in this world, obviously. Like, also,
Is
evil
any-
stepsister cliche, I guess.
Bold
Till I find a
outline
way to
around the eyes? Yes, I am bothered by that. These expressions could have been conveyed much better if the eyes, were the proper size. Never-
Yeah. Well,
I
never
will
mind, I thought you
say,
were talking about-
it also eyebrows to convey expression like that.
Man, maybe that's why they're so thick.
stop her. Unless you want to become her new victims.
Whoa, that was insane. But since we know who it is now, we should probably report it to the police, right?
No, what are they gonna do about a threat that is in the ocean? She has the upper hand.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the police have
What,
they have diving teams.
what are we going to do
And
about a
right now-
threat that's in the ocean? Meanwhile, the U.S. Navy SEALs in the background.
In the Navy. And sail the 7 seas. So anyway, yeah, rather than calling
There's a-
whatever navy of whichever country this is supposed to be, or getting the police to send in a diving team, let's us, a group of 2 random students that can't trust a library book to save their lives. Let's us go down instead. Clearly, we are the most qualified to handle this situation, having nearly failed once already.
now.
Which
And
is
plus,
why in
it's
the
not-
thing I'm writing, I, have actively created a purpose for the teenage main characters to be more qualified than the people handling the issue to be handling the issue.
Yeah, of course, and yeah, so
I hit
Destiny
it,
and
I
such.
hit it.
By the way, I'm pretty sure you said that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said that. The QB influence that may or may not have been involved with Majesty was also present for Kami, so that tracks as well.
Would you like to make a
Where are
contract?
Don't worry, I'm literally origami. I am the contract.
Literally.
Anyway,
It's just a stylistic choice, Vaughn. There is the fact that it's a stylistic.
no, no. Mops is teasing Bond because he said before, don't say stylistic choice in his presence. So Mops is just teasing him. But yeah,
You can decry stylistic choice all
What are
you
you
want,
talking
but I
about?
can still not like a style. People don't have to like
Of
my.
course.
People don't have to like my style. People don't have to like Jacob's style. But we can still point out the
Some people don't.
flaws. We could still point out the flaws with the style that is inherently present.
yeah. Like, see here, for example, that the top of the front hairs, is allowed to go over the top of the ear without having to show the earring all the time.
Because today was about helping you out with your dreaming problem, and I've done everything but help you with the problem you came to me about, and for that, I'm sorry.
Crystal, it's okay. Okay, but since we're on the subject now, can we get back to that?
Okay, that was a definitely more pleasant way to go about it than how does this help with my problem from before. It was definitely a very random
Wait till
detour.
my
if you think about it that
father
way.
hears about this.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're talking about feelings because we're getting back on track with what was supposed to happen in the episode before, I guess, random side quest showed up. So Crystal is, so Blaze is being, very forgiving here, being like, okay, you had this obsession, fair enough. And now that we've done that thing, can we please, more politely get back to what we're actually doing? So here we go.
Of course.
Let's go ahead and get right into detail. Episode's over.
Someone shoot me. That was it?
All
You're
they
not
had to
going-
do was read a library book, and they couldn't do that. They had to go into the ocean and fight sirens instead.
Listen, we're not going to build upon the problems that we've established. We're going to like instead divert to a different plot entirely.
Yeah, like it's not uncommon for a series to present like an overarching problem that is that is that's like an ongoing thing that they're going to resolve over the course of maybe like a season or something, or the entire show, depends on what it is, and then have a few side quests that present themselves that the characters have to deal with first before going back. But in this case, there was no like call to action from them aside from one of them literally creating the call to action for themselves and going out of their way to do something different. Usually that's done for comedic effect, but here it wasn't presented like that.
You want to know what I would have done personally as someone who's writing a bunch of similar plots?
Go on.
Like, I would have, had the main characters, overhear people, spreading rumors about, hey, there's been a siren problem recently. And the main characters just don't care because it doesn't have any prevalence to their, like, contingency or life until, probably the
As
main
what Blaze did.
character... And, until the main character gets, some sort of prophetic dream, or maybe a family member is injured, and suddenly they have a motive or a drive to look into the issue.
Yeah, I guess it depends like what the dreams are meant to signify, because it does seem like which by the way, the dream situation was also presented like it was a first time, so the whole the whole thing I said earlier about like not about like, oh, this thing that's been bothering me for such a long time also doesn't apply in that situation if it wasn't for the the spontaneous running that happened. So either way, it still doesn't work. But even then, we don't know about the meaning behind the dreams. Maybe it's more about like her origins or something, or like one thing specifically, rather than just a prophetic thing that can happen overall. So maybe the mechanics alone.
Why is the main character's origin a B plot in the episode that's supposed to hook us into the series and make us really care about the conflict?
Yeah, so normally the detour style happens, happens when at least episode 2, because you want to hook people in with the initial problem first in the first episode, and then present the side quests along with a few bits of ongoing investigation.
Also,
that's usually how it goes.
Also, I'd like to point out that the siren and the mermaid being cousins raises a lot of issues that I just now thought of.
I think you said like stepsister or something, so potentially the mermaid and a siren remarried and had existing kids. Maybe that was maybe that's why.
Why is the siren and mermaid marriages?
I mean, when it comes to just these sort of multiple sapient species in a fantasy setting, normally they just seem to be like willing to like marry each other.
Siren and mermaid sea families.
Yeah, for forbidden romance. I was just thinking, like in terms of even like in D&D terms, for example, where you have like
that sound like a
different like
better
half
plot?
creatures and such. It's see, there's a reason to have mermaids and sirens both be fish creatures, and also keep the distinction. But oh my!
Put some final thoughts in chat. I found the animation was cool, the voices were crisp, and the backstory montage was good. Literally the first few seconds of the episode. But the story was scattered and kind of messy, projection was lacking, and the outfits were lackluster. Like, I'd say they went lackluster, but they did have a bit too much outfit on, which really muddied the designs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you found this on a underrated gacha list?
I did.
Throw that list in
A
the
list that is
trash.
apparently 2 for 4.
Yeah, throw that list in the
The
trash.
list is well. It's again another thing where, like, in the video, it seems to, like, they really point out the animation parts and, you know, like most of the visual details behind it,
Yeah,
more so than focusing on the story because there's not much to focus on.
I will say the animation is impressive, but everything else is not good.
Yeah. Also, yeah, no, it is 2 for 4 because the first one was Wings, which we, you know, didn't like on Gacha Review, and then the second was Kesuru, which we did. So, you know, then we had Apocalypse, which we did, and this one, which, yeah, no. Nope. Possible. I thought this might have been a situation where, you know, they were saving the best for last because, you know, like there were a few, especially like a few moments in like the hand drawn animation where you actually see like there was like one moment where somebody in the intro was just like a summoning thing. There's like a whirlpool of water or something. That's you know, was like that they like really like hooks you in for the 0.3 seconds that it's on screen for. So yeah, that I mean, normally I say, you know, it's a good thing to reserve yourself in terms of editing things where, you know, you don't want to have it on screen for too long, if just to show off the visual. But then again, it did seem like in a couple of instances that the creator of this video really did want to show off visuals, such as the flowing hair underwater.
Like, it seems like
And the
the
accessories.
story. It seems like a story was an excuse for the visuals and not the other way around.
Yeah, I mean which you know, like that is something was worth, you know, taking a step back because I've been in the situation a couple of times where, you know, I really want to do something particularly and in with Gacha where I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I would love to I would love to do like this thing where, oh hey, you know what, like I want to have the first voice acted Gacha Life 2 series. And it just so happened that, you know, an episode of Gacha Review gave me the perfect idea for the storyline, or at least like part of it, and then like add on top of it. Conversely, I also want to have the first voice acted a Gacha story series, which also happened, but was one where, you know, like there was but which one where, you know, like I mean, I did have the idea for some time, but unfortunately, like, you know, it didn't end up working the way that I intended it to, and just a lot of stuff ended up like, you know, like just losing the passion for that and whatever. So, so yeah, like, but in both times I did do the thing that I set out to do, but in one of them it ended up actually being an enjoyable experience, and the other one, not so much. I just kind of like was released out of almost obligation. So, yeah, worth remembering for future, because like there are other things I want to do in Gacha that I just haven't thought of a story for specifically yet, so that's why I haven't gone ahead with them, aside from the obvious I have a list of projects to get through first. But for both those reasons. So it really depends. Yeah, and that's probably what should happen here. Not say I don't make it, but I take a step back, think of the story details first, think about what potential like hurdles could come from them, of which there were quite a few. You know, make it so that, you know, your characters don't contradict what they'd say beforehand, or like the way that they respond to something, and I guess don't disregard the power of library books. And then you're probably golden.
Like, there is a who, what, when, where, and why, but the why is missing.
Yeah. People focus a lot on the how in this one. Ironic, since that's the complaint I had about the wording of the first question in this. Like, you know, why did you run so fast versus how you run so fast? But yeah, a lot of people focus on like the how something was made, not the why. With, you know, Gacha in modern Gacha, that is.
Like, I'd also like to point
because
out
yeah, we're
that,
still struggling with story all this time later in the community.
like, the point of the first episode of anything is to hook you into the plot, to really make you like care about the story you're going to be walking into. But I gotta say,
and just the main characters.
Yeah, but
and
I
what their
gotta
whole deal
say,
is.
after watching this, I feel no emotion for anything that's going on. I
Yeah,
don't
remember
care.
how? Yeah, I remember how in like in the first day in all public school review that we did that we all just wanted the main character to die because there was a whole series of murders going on. Like it's not as extreme in this case because Blaze were just like kind of annoying, kind of a jerk. Compared to main character in that video where it's just like, no, please, why are we focusing so much on her survival? Just no. But it's still a very easy pitfall to fall down because it can get better, it can get worse from here. There's one more episode that has come out after this one, so I'm hoping that it's improved. But we'll obviously get to the good one, Apocalypse, before that in a few days' time. And maybe if Ghost is around for that one, you'll get to see actual zombies. So
Oh, good. I'm
Yeah.
going to go consume the first episode of Apocalypse because I was dealing with a cease and desist.
Rule of threes doesn't
Hey.
usually mean you repeat the joke 3 times, but sure, we'll go with that for now. Before it happens again, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. And subscribe if you've done so already. And on that note, until next time, rule of 3, farewell.